Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Vinny back. Going to be day 2 of the Plum Crazy rebuild for ScaleWorld.net. The disassembly has been done. It's all disassembled. Here is the body and chassis, all different pieces, and it snips on there. Reworked it enough to where I can get a lot of this stuff out. Chassis, I was able to work it out to where I could still keep 3 of the pins. Right here would be where the motor goes. The new intercooler was set right there. And then the chassis, I had to leave the springs in just because they glue in from the top side and they push through, so I just left those in. I'll be able to paint around them. Got everything else off of the chassis. Here's what the chassis looks like. Engine compartment, I got everything off of the engine. The engine is actually made to set in between both inner fenders, and this part right here would be body, and this part right here will just be like a plastic cover piece. I've seen a few Rocket Bunny builds where the builders actually cut the inner fenders out and then made their own bars for like a roll bar up front. I don't know which direction I'm going to go on this yet, but I didn't remove the sway bar. It's so brittle and thin, I will just detail around it when that one's in there. Front window you seen popped right out. The rear window, it's got some glue buildup. I'll have to do some polishing, wet sand and polishing, and getting all that done so I can get a flush, a better fitment towards the body. The rear end assembly, Pete did a pretty good job detailing. Try to get this to focus in. It's pretty decent. Some glue damage on there, but I didn't want to break this apart. I should be able to highlight some details in it and fix some stuff depending upon the direction I want to go with this. I'm definitely going to freshen up the brakes and stuff like that. Got the steering. The steering came out unbreakable. Did lose the top mounts right there, but I might be able to put some straight pins in it, and I might be doing the posable steering. Here's the muffler. Here's the upper engine control mount. There's a little piece glued on there, but I still don't know yet if I'm how far detailed I'm going to go with this piece. This right here would be your front of the engine, where your fan belts and stuff go to, your power steering, and all that stuff is stuck on there. We'll see. We'll have to get that detailed up. Got the drive shaft. Here's the rest of the exhaust. Now this exhaust might be like the Rabbit. It might get tossed to the side, and I might run my own exhaust. I don't know yet. Still might use that muffler though. Window cowl, wiper cowl, and all that is a separate piece. That's not broken. It's actually a separate piece for this kit. So I got it removed. We got that removed. Then firewall, very plain. This is a right-hand drive, so that's why your master cylinder is going to be in the right-hand drive. I'm going to go ahead and leave that intact. Pretty good glue mount. I'm going to leave that intact. I can detail around it and the way it glues to the wiper window cowl thing here. It'll be fine. Interior took some stress getting it apart, so I'll have to do some cleanup there. I'm gonna do some cleanup all around here, but luckily the seat hides all this. But phone's not really wanting to focus today. But so there, I got all that, and then right here is just a little bit thing. And I was thinking, I could update it with my own speaker system and whatnot. So we'll be working on that. That right there is the driver's side, the passenger side. It's funny when they're right-hand drive. This right here is the driver's side. I got some cleaning up to do. Definitely did some damage there, but I can get the dash to mount back up. I'm not worried about that. I'll just put in some flange and, you know, give me a pin rod to hold it on there. I said pin rod, not Nimrod. Actually has a full separate console, which took a little bit of stress to pulling out, but I should be able to hide all that for you, Pete. Steering wheel is all one unit on this. I can't get it apart. I didn't want to break none of the wiper. I didn't want to break none of the wiper arms or anything, because it has your wiper controllers and stuff on the steering column. So I'll work around that. Got the third brake light off right there. Here's the dash itself. I think I got some TV screens from the Detail Junkie, so I might be able to replace the navigation sticker right there. If not, I can dilly-dally with something, put something in there. I was worried about replacing the gauges. Excuse me, guys. I'm worried about replacing the gauges, but I think I'm going to do my own gauge setup in there anyway. Here's the actual interior bucket. This is where the third brake light was. That might be removed. I might not even be using that anyway. Where the front seats were, then some of the damage that was caused by stripping it out. But all that is going to be repairable, and I'll be able to do something with it. The back seats they lack so much detail. I don't know what's going on there, but here are the seats. I have to do some cleanup to those. You can't strip them because they're resin, but we'll be able to I'll be able to clean them up. That's if I reuse those seats. I don't know if I'll reuse those seats. Here's the body kit. I actually got the whole body kit off. This will be, like, you guys know, a front bumper. Come on. So here would be the front bumper. This is where it was glued on. And with this being resin, I really can't strip it per se by putting it in a chemical bath. But I'll just sit here and I'll get it chipped away a little bit with sandpaper, a little bit with my knife. I don't want to put a lot of sanding to this just because of the, you don't want to lose the detail and whatnot. It's a little rough around here, but that's because the fender itself goes so far over. Just got to do some cleaning up on the resin stuff before I could put it back in use. And then the fenders, that there's just a chip of the paint. The fender's actually all there. Come on. Sorry about the difficult camera views today, guys. Then right there, I think after I get everything stripped and cleaned up, I might go back and redo the bolt heads that are in these fenders. Get those cleaned up a lot. Then the side skirts, and then the rear fin. Right here's the intercooler that was glued in already, but it's also an 81 piece. Now here I'm going to take you guys to the body itself. This right here is where most people get discouraged. A lot of this stuff here, other than that winder, a lot of this stuff here we could cover up with paint, flocking, decals, wiring, alumina, like solder for the exhaust. A lot of this stuff we can hide, but when it comes to actual the body version of it, it's kind of discouraging when somebody has a piece and they start seeing the glue build up and then the paint build up and stuff like that. But here's the body. Once I got everything off, I could see where Pete had notched the factory body for the bigger wheels to get the wheels clearance. So at this point, this is a type of kit that has to go back with the Rocket Bunny set because of the damage that has been done to the factory kit body. The glue stuff right there, yeah, it looks harsh, but knowing now that it has to go back with the body kit, it's very minute. I'll just sand it back down to where I can get the body part back on there flush, and so that way everything looks seamless on the body. You know, it needs a little bit of cleanup, but it will go in the tank, and I'll get it stripped off the tank first, and then once it comes up out of the tank, I'll go back and I'll resand. I think for me, being the builder with the car to do the rebuild, this is the worst spot for me right now. It looked like there's a heavy glue paint buildup right there. Maybe like it shifted or moved. But my intentions are put it in the tank, strip it, see what the actual plastic looks like underneath, probably rescribe this door line, and then start fitting the parts back onto the body. And then we'll go from there. But this right here is still very savable. It just gets discouraging to some of you guys that try to buy, say you bought this rebuild, and once you tore it apart to rebuild it, then you see the damage done to the body. You're like, screw it, let me start over. But actually, I'll put the parts on it, and then I'll clean up all the places where Pete had to radius, is what they call it in the car world. On the model bench, we just like hacking the stuff. But in real life, they're called radiusing the opening or rolling the edges. They have to do it on the real car for some of these bigger wheels, for some of these body kits that do the wide bodies and stuff like that. Little bit of controversy came up with some stuff that I was posting on Facebook about wide body stuff. Each builder, each craftsman has their own way of doing it. I didn't have no hurt feelings off of it. Talked to a few different people. Everybody has their own different ways of doing it. And I expressed my opinion. They've expressed theirs. And that's what's great about this hobby. Not only do I get the opportunity to rebuild something like this that Pete thought might have been better off left in the box. And his words, guys, not mine. That's why I'm getting to rebuild some of these ones, because they're just sitting in the box. And I told him no sense of having money just sitting in a box. If I can save it, we'll save it. If I can't save it, then he has these 81 parts to put on another build. So just a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of time, but being in the hobby to where we each can have our own outtake on what the hobby means to us. We can each perform our own moves, build the eras or the genres of what we do. I might just build a lot of automotive, guys, but I like you know, all different builds. Some of these military guys, man, Cohen C, some of these guys like that, man, they have just some crazy dioramas and builds. And some of the military guy stuff, the airplane guy stuff, I wouldn't know the first hand to do what you guys do. But you guys follow me, I follow you. Hopefully you enjoy what I'm giving you guys to watch. And I see some great people, and like Dread over there at Sullivan Abuse, he's building one hell of a diorama. It is just huge. It's like a little part of a city, and you know, he explains what he does, and then you know, I watch, you know, several of these other guys that do some great work, and then you know, Gil and them over there doing these battle bot armor things. They look super cool, but my talent is within the automotive ring, a genre of the stuff, and to be able to get in a conversation where everybody should be free to speak their piece without conviction. You know, we're all idiots, if I want to say the truth, and the longer you talk to somebody, you can find out how much they truly know, how much they make up, or if they enjoy what they're talking about at all, because you can see the excitement in me when I'm talking about my hobby. I see the excitement in others when they talk about their hobby, but then when we get in a conversation where one of a party is clueless, all you get is, you don't get no rebuttal out of them, that's when you know that you ventured your conversation into an area that other person don't have a clue or don't care about. So you got to catch these little signs. But I'm gonna put this in the stripper now, and the next update, hopefully the body will be stripped and I can show you guys some of the repairs that inside the body needs, and we're going to go from there. So for today, this is the Plum Crazy rebuild day 2. The tear down is done, and now we're getting into the stripping. And if we was on overhauling, it would be now let's go to media blast. But this is Minnie. I sent off a few cars today to go to the New Jersey NNL East. Hopefully you guys that watch me that are in that area, maybe you guys will be able to see a few of my builds. George Ramos is going to enter them for me. Hopefully Scale World will be there. Robert over at the Busted Knuckle Garage, he's going to try to be there, and hopefully some of you other guys can go out there. And like I was telling George in our conversation, I was like, there's so many cars that you see in pictures or on the videos that are just beautiful, and then you see them in person and they lack the luster that the camera gives, or the cleanliness that the camera gives. So guys, I'm not perfect. I enjoy building, I enjoy cutting things up and making things, and I enjoy doing rebuild stuff like this. So go over there if you guys can make it. Check out my work firsthand. That way you guys can truly see that I am a builder. I make my own mistakes, and I love the hobby. I want you guys to enjoy as much as I do. And I guess for final goodbye, and see you guys later. Enjoy.